Hello, everyone. It's James Topp here in sunny Western Newfoundland. And now I'm here to talk to you about the way forward. This is my rucksack. It weighs between 35 and 40 pounds, depending on how much water I have in it. This is a stack of 428 letters addressed to every single member of parliament, 338 of them, and 90 sitting senators. So I would rather carry these letters to Ottawa than this rucksack because this is considerably lighter, as you can see by my lifting it up and putting it back down with no apparent effort. So why am I doing this? You might be asking yourselves. James, it's all over. The mandates are suspended. Everybody's free to do what they want again, but that's not entirely true because there are a number of members of the Canadian Armed Forces who have been kicked out on a 5F release or forced to release on a 4C, so they don't have to participate in what we call the Chief of Defence Staff Directive on vaccination. So these letters are going out to every member of parliament and to the senators so I can address that fact and have a conversation with the ombudsman, should he choose to do so. If you want to help, go to my website, canadamarches.ca, look at the letter, and maybe write for yourself and help me out. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Alors ce matin, encore une fois, je vais recevoir James Topp à FNL Freedom News Nouvelle Libre. Comment nous allons procéder? Alors, je vais poser quelques questions à James. Je vais les traduire en français pour vous rapidement. Ce ne sera pas une traduction intégrale. Alors, l'entrevue va se passer en anglais et va se faire à partir du Nouveau-Brunswick. Et a message for the new Global Freedom Group. As you see, I'm a French-speaking person, but I will do the interview in English. I will translate it a little bit in French for all of our friends in Quebec province. And part of the Global Freedom News, it's important because, as you see, we must have a global approach also. And to share the information, even if you're in Canada, United States, Australia, everywhere, you can share this. So there is more people rising right now to fight against the mandate. So let's begin with James Topp. So welcome, James. How are you?
Bonjour, how are you?
Bonjour, merci d'être là encore. Incredible what you did. It was a pleasure and an honor to be present and to meet you on site in Ottawa in June 30th. To welcome you and your amazing and awesome team. Incredible. Again, on behalf of all freedom-loving Canadians, thank you for what you did.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, because if it weren't for guys like you and women like you,
Yeah.
I guess that's okay to say nowadays anyway, but
Yeah.
for men and women like yourself, independent broadcasters, journalists, podcasters, nobody would know about this, so thank you.
Excellent. So, after arriving in Ottawa, you made the decision to continue your walk, your march. You could have said, okay, I've done enough. I've done everything I need to do. I'm going home to rest. And it was a well-deserved rest, by the way. What motivated you to continue this journey from Newfoundland?
Well, I would say we started considering it on July the 1st. And, that being Canada Day, I made it public that we would be taking a rest on Canada Day because the team had worked so hard to get us there. And, we had to do an assessment at that time between July the 1st and basically July the 17th. The language coming out of our governments, federally and provincially, was not entirely encouraging in any way. And there seemed to be this reluctance to let go of the authority granted to various powers under this state of emergency And, we were, like I said in that video, a lot of the mandates have in fact been suspended, even though it's still a requirement for travelers to wear a mask in Canada, despite the fact that not long ago there was an actual investigation into the implementation of these mandates, and it was revealed that there was no real scientific basis for any of them to be put in place in the first condition. So,
Yes.
recognizing also some of the threat that was hovering was, they were going to be re-implemented in the fall, potentially with the arriving of a new and scary variant of some sort. So
Yeah.
there was that.
The Eighth Wave, yeah. So, juste pour les amis en français, rapidement, donc j'ai posé la question pourquoi James il aurait pu retourner chez eux après. Et il a décidé de poursuivre la marche. Ils ont réfléchi, l'équipe s'est reposée un peu, bien mérité. Mais ils se sont rendus compte qu'effectivement, les mandats se poursuivaient. L'état d'urgence est toujours là au Canada d'ailleurs, pour ceux qui l'ignorent, parce qu'il y en a qui disaient que c'était fini, mais non, c'est pas fini. On l'a vu aussi avec la commission. Les masques, ça peut revenir. Les voyages en avion aussi. Hein, alors, les restrictions pour les voyageurs qu'il y avait à la frontière aussi. Et ils se sont aperçus que c'était, eh oui, uniquement, surtout politique et non basé sur la science. Alors, rapidement, c'est ça. Et il a décidé de continuer sa marche. So, OK. Yeah, crossing the street. On va attendre un peu. We'll wait some seconds to be safe. Okay. You met people from Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New-Brunswick now. You had help from people like Michel Lindsay and other volunteers as well. Were people surprised that you were in the Maritimes? Did they know about your march?
In Newfoundland?
In Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. So, what was the reception? And were they surprised to see you again, to see you there?
I don't think so. I had made it fairly clear that in the days leading up to our departure from St. John's, Newfoundland, I made it fairly clear that this march was going to continue. So between July the 1st and 17th, we made the decision, we announced it. Folks were expecting us. And there was a lot of requests from people in Quebec and the Maritime provinces for us to be there and, march to Newfoundland or visit Newfoundland. And based on the fact that, we knew there was going to be some awareness of what we're doing already, that's why so to answer your question, the reception was good. Lots of folk knew we were coming. The send-off that we had in St. John's, Newfoundland, at Signal Hill was, nothing short of amazing, really. I was very surprised to see the amount of people that turned out there. So, all in all, it has been a really good, we've had a really good and warm welcome by all of the Maritime provinces so far.
Good, excellent. And just to show the people, so les gens, j'ai demandé la question, un peu l'accueil qu'ils avaient reçu, Nouvelle-Écosse, Terre-Neuve, Nouveau-Brunswick. Donc, l'accueil, les gens après le 17 juillet l'attendaient. Il y a eu des gens qui l'ont aidé. La réception a été très bonne, c'est très positif. Alors, c'est très encourageant. Je tiens à rappeler aux gens d'aller sur la page Facebook de Canada March. Alors, je vais vous la montrer rapidement. I will show rapidly, James, your Facebook page and the website. So, sur le site web, sur la page Facebook d'abord, Marching with Purpose, Canada Marches, James Topp. So you have the links scrolling in the bottom. And also the website. Alors, allez sur le site web de James Topp. Go to Canada Marches, canadamarches.ca, and you have all the information there for what James is doing, and also the path of the walk. Okay. Next question, rapidly. Did you feel that people had the same feeling about what is happening in Canada as in other provinces? What was the feeling about the mandates? of course, they follow it a little bit, but what was their feeling of the people you met in this province, in the Maritime province?
Yeah, as you know, in a lot of ways, the implementation of the mandates here in the Maritimes was significantly worse in a lot of different ways. In that
Yeah.
there was a requirement for proof of vaccination to cross from one province into another, and folks who were actually from, for example, I'm using the example of Prince Edward Island. You were required to have a proof of vaccination in order to get back home,
Wow.
and yeah, it was.
They went far in New-Brunswick also. They blocked the roads. There was a blocking of the roads between New-Brunswick and Quebec. Yeah.
Yeah, and checkpoints, and there was this so-called Atlantic bubble where the health authorities and the provincial governments, um, had made this kind of medical police state an actuality, and I think it was very disturbing and an eye-opening experience to a lot of the people who lived here. Furthermore, what I think is the most disturbing thing is that after the trucker movement, the Freedom Convoy, folks who had gathered on overpasses to cheer them on and wave them on, the province of Nova Scotia, the premier, made it a law forbidding people to congregate on overpasses. So
Yes. They
this
pushed
I
this
think
law.
is the
Yes.
most concerning development.
Yeah. We forgot a little bit about all these things, because of course there's so many things to talk in these days. But yes, they they put a law to forbid the people to have convoys and to get together by road and stuff like that in Nova Scotia. And it's incredible. Okay. After that, did the media make a better effort to meet you? Any interviews in the mainstream media soon?
The mainstream media, uh, I think the extent to which our message is being accepted by folks, the visibility we're getting by doing this, it's made an impact in that we're seeing a significant increase in the vehemence, the intensity of the attacks by the mainstream media and quote unquote journalists, um, because they continue to denigrate and write disparaging articles about myself and what we're doing, and try to associate us through other nefarious organizations with absolutely no evidence whatsoever, and I should say, without the ability to speak on our own defense or our own behalf. So we're seeing articles come out disparaging us and defaming us and me. So that tells me that we have a media that is captured or working hand in hand with the federal government to vilify anybody that speaks out against it. So that continues to happen.
Wow. So they didn't back down about it. So they still continuing to
Yeah,
bless the
absolutely.
convoys and to talk. But in fact, they don't talk about you, but they don't want to talk about your work as
Well,
well.
if they do talk about me, it's disparagement, and it's not like they have been in contact with us, to have an interview, to hear what I'm doing and why, because they don't want it known. I think to the wider Canadian audience, the suffering that is happening
Yeah.
to folks affected by these mandates, and specifically what's going on with the armed forces.
Wow. Okay, I will have another question after that, but I will translate a little bit. OK, so James, les médias, ben, non seulement l'ignorent, mais quand ils en parlent contre lui, c'est pour lui manquer de respect, pour dénigrer encore le mouvement, dénigrer ce qu'il fait. C'est incroyable. Il n'y a pas eu de demande d'interview des grands médias ou quoi que ce soit. Donc, bref, surprenamment, ça continue cette connerie-là, cette niaiserie-là. Question for you, James. What's about you have a plaint, I think, against Global News? Can you talk us about a little bit about it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we are going to crowdfund, and we are going to pursue litigation against Global News for a recent article about me, which suggests that I am that suggests that I am a white supremacist and some kind of far right extremist.
Yeah.
So this is absolutely not true. It is based on no evidence whatsoever. This is more or less an opinion article being accepted as fact by the establishment that is publishing it. So, and again, at no point in time did anybody from Global News reach out to me and allow me to speak on my own behalf with regard to these claims. So if you'll read the article, it's very subtle, insidious, it's rumor mongering.
Yeah.
It's a form of cognitive conditioning in that they throw my name in with a number of other organizations so that people will come to associate my name with these other organizations, as opposed to, just talking about the march, why I'm doing this, and what the goal is.
Exactly. So we're not surprised, but Global News, I don't share this article. I read it. Yes, it was shameful from them. It's not journalism. It's just a bad opinion text to crush you, to crush the movement, and to associate people, freedom-loving Canadians. They're all white extremists and stuff like that. So like the Trudeau's talk. So we're not surprised. I will translate it. So j'ai demandé la question à propos de la poursuite de Global News. Il va y avoir il y a une levée de fonds aussi qui est disponible. Vous pouvez donner sur sa page web en passant pour l'aider. Mais bref, Global News, il poursuit parce qu'ils ont essayé de le diffamer en l'associant à quelqu'un d'extrême droite, bien entendu. Pour la liberté, donc tout ce qui est liberté, c'est extrême droite. Un suprématiste blanc. Alors, les discours de niaiseux qu'on a entendus habituellement. James, you're a hero, like I said, so same thing, continue. Some people said you will walk 5 kilometers today in just to stand with you. Other questions, like, so you don't have an interview coming soon in CBC or something like that?
This is what we're trying to put into the public mind, is that we should have an interview on CBC.
Yeah.
We should be given the right, given the notoriety, and all of the articles that are written about me. Why should I not have an opportunity? Why should we as a team not have an opportunity to appear on that network? It's a network that is paid for by taxpayer dollars. It is a public corporation, and we are asking folks to reach out to the CBC and ask them to have an interview with me, because that's what we do here in Canada. You pay for something, you should get something out of it.
Yeah. And yes, we know the mainstream media, what's the fight we have. Soon you will be crossing into Quebec province. Can you announce the dates already?
No, because it's still a number of weeks out, and I don't want to get people too excited too early. But we're looking at probably another 2 weeks here in New-Brunswick, and then absolutely, I think by the middle of September or the third week of September, we'll be crossing into Quebec. So I know that a lot of folks are reaching out to us, and they want to support us in Quebec. And I just want to say to them, thank you in advance, and just be aware of the fact that we have a very small communications team monitoring the internet. One of them is actually carrying the gimbal, holding the phone right now, so just please be patient with us.
Yeah, awesome. So, j'ai demandé quand est-ce que James arriverait au Québec, donc c'est à peu près dans 3 semaines. La date n'est pas précise encore. Alors, beaucoup de travail à faire. Ça continue, mais suivez les pages, c'est le meilleur moyen de voir ça. Just a question from one of our supporters. He asked us, were you inspired somewhat by Terry Fox, what Terry Fox did?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody who crossed the country was in not some way, shape, or form inspired by Terry Fox. I remember him and what he did from when I was a real little kid. There's a story that I could tell you about this in that we started at the Terry Fox Memorial in Vancouver. I don't want it, it is not my intent to have mainstream media, and again, I use journalists like
Yeah,
this,
yeah, journalist quotes in
dragging
quotes. Yeah,
Terry Fox's name into some kind of abuse. So I do not like to make that big of a deal, but of course it was an inspiration, and I think it was to all Canadians really.
yeah. No, we're all Canadians, and when I was young, we followed Terry Fox. It was a model also, but you are one of the model to be. Even if the media don't like it, people recognize you as this kind of model, whatsoever they don't like anyway. So thank you. And the last thing I think, no, it's okay. And Facebook is trying to censor one of my page right now. I don't know why, which one anyway. So for people, if there's a blockade of Facebook, use my YouTube channel link. I will share it anyway. It will be easier. So thank you very much, James. And do you have something to add for your walk, for your march, and something special today? By the way, you're near Moncton. I think you'll go to Fredericton, or you'll go to the East Coast also.
Yeah, we're on our way to Fredericton. So we started we started the phase 2 of the march. Phase 1, we went from Vancouver to Ottawa. On this phase, we're going from St. John's back towards Toronto. And the intent is to have a repeat performance of reaching out to the Canadian public directly, asking them to weigh in on our behalf so that we can get an audience with our officials and address the injustice that's been imposed on us by mandates.
Yeah. By the way, just a question I had, I forgot to ask it to you. Did some official of provincial governments like Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, or New Brunswick met you or contact you?
No,
Contacted you?
no, actually, it's a good point in that I can speak to this as having personally witnessed something happening here in the political sphere. Um, it, I think it's happening nationwide, but it's happening in all of these provinces. Is that MLAs are being ordered not to speak with me?
Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
it's an order not to speak with you. Wow, wow. And again, the MNAs can talk to you. They don't. They're supposed to represent people, but
yeah.
they don't do it. Okay.
So
So
that's what it's come to.
yeah, incredible. So as you see, we have to fight. We have to share this incredible man and his awesome team. Also, what they are doing right now, they're unique for us. Thank you very much, James, and see you. Some people will wait for you in Quebec, of course. Like I said, now someone just told us you will receive in Levy, and me, I will be there too. Maxime Bernier too, and other people in Quebec. We will make some noise to talk about you, of course.
Okay.
So have a great day, a great weekend, great Labor Day. But for you, will you walk on Labor Day?
Actually, we're going to have an administration day tomorrow, and then resume marching on Labor Day. Actually, so
Good.
we'll be doing labor on Labor Day.
Yeah, excellent. So you're in good shape. You're awesome, and congrats to your team too. Thank you very much, and have a nice day, James.
Thank you, and thank you again for having me on the show, Daniel.
A pleasure, and we'll have another opportunity to talk again. Bye. Alors, c'était James Topp qui est venu nous parler en direct pendant qu'il marchait. Bravo. Voilà, les meet-out locales. Alors, map and even municipal leaders and tell them to get out to speak with him if they want our votes. Voilà. So that's a good point, Freedom Boudreau. And Sherbrooke, yeah, Sherbrooke va être là. C'est vraiment inconcevable d'ignorer un homme intègre avec autant de courage. Alors, effectivement. So, bonne fin de marche. Voilà. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. C'était tout pour ce matin et we'll have another meeting with James, another live with him when he cross near Quebec, and maybe for other things. So follow his pages, suivez ses pages, partagez, share. So share these pages. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everyone.